So coming into the month of July, I was like, man, there's got to be some changes that needs to be done. So coming in July, I made some major changes. I made it a point to really, really hone in and focus on my sales process. What I came to find out was that my sales process and also my sales team, just listening to them over the phone and, having my one-on-ones with my sales team, my sales manager, my estimator, they weren't cut to be, sales people and just really go after that job, going after, the bookings. They weren't really pushing the envelope to move forward and book the customer. So I had to make a decision and, really diving back deep in there and really taking a look at what was being said over the phone and how the estimates were being processed. I had to make a decision that I had to part ways. I had to part ways with my on-site estimator. I had to part ways with one of my sales reps. And then I made a hire in June, and for some reason, she disappeared. That's a little bit, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but those were some of the things that I just recently dealt with within the past month and a half. So, I have no problem doing that because I want A players all around me, right? And A players want to be around A players. And I think that they weren't A players. I think that they meant good, but they just weren't salespeople, essentially. We gave them feedback. We gave them, the tools. We gave them the process. We gave them how to properly close and everything like that. And it just didn't get by to them. They just didn't have the hunger. They didn't have the sales skills, the tonalities, or anything like that. So we had to part ways, which was, I think, the best thing that happened for the company. The reason why is because now that I go back into the sales process, because right now I'm pretty much covering the rest of the sales. And now that I go back in there, I was able to kind of tweak some things and be able to really look down and redial down the sales process. So pretty much a restart. So I'm going to be doing a couple of different things now. So I just recently hired 2 more sales reps and one on-site estimator, 1 sales rep. And the thing is, with a sales rep, I actually hired the sales rep, which is over the phone, here in this office. Well, they're going to basically be here stationed in this office. And then, my on-site estimator, they're still going to be here. But that was one of the major differences I did, because I was typically hiring sales reps virtually. I would had VAs. I had another sales rep in Iowa. And, it was a little bit harder for me to manage because, the only way that I could really communicate with them was through the phone, through Zoom, and listening to their calls for training purposes. So I made a conscious decision to say, hey, my sales booking percentage has been really, really low. Let me go ahead and hire some sales reps here in the U.S. and in my office to be able to manage them and track them and, train them a little bit better. So those were some of the major things that I had to go through within the past couple of months. And I want to say, when I had to make the decision and I had to pull them essentially from the company and then, part ways, I was feeling, I would say I was feeling more so, I want to say I was more stressed out to have to fill in that role and kind of help out with refilling that role. Because what that meant for me was that there was going to be more sales on my sales team, and I was going to have to cover. I was going to have to go ahead and do the on-site estimates, and I was going to have to, redo the process of hiring salespeople and things like that. And I kept telling myself, like, I gotta eat shit. And I gotta get back in the day-to-day and redo some of the estimates, take some of the sales calls. And I was saying that for a week before I knew that I had to get back on the field. But now that I've done that and I've hired my new salespeople, they're coming in next week, Monday and Tuesday. I'm very happy and thankful that I did that. The reason why is because I'm able to get back in the day-to-day, really able to see what works and what doesn't work. And what do I mean by that? I mean that were the goals that I was setting, were they too high? Was it my sales process that I'd given them, was it incorrect? Right? So I really started to question myself and really say, hey, am I giving these guys the wrong information to be able to be successful? So I went out, did some of the sales, took some phone calls, and an amazing thing happened. I was actually right. My sales process did work. The way I did on-site estimates did work. In a matter of 2 weeks, which was from the beginning of July all the way till now, I was able to book over $100,000 in revenue and still doing all of the other daily tasks that I needed to do to run my company. So it made me really understand and really justify my fire, or my parting ways, I should say, because it's possible to hit the goals that I want. It's possible to have the booking percentage that I want. It's possible to accomplish those goals that I set out for my team members to do.